Okay. Um, yep, I think we're running here. So what I'm going to do is that we did the first 12 minutes and 12 seconds, and I think what I want to do is I want to focus on getting a composition together in regards to this pomegranate that I want to use. So what I'm going to do is that actually I'm going to do something that you're not familiar with, is that I'm going to make another composition and use it as a movie clip within this particular one. By the way, I'm also going to turn off the motion editor, stay back into keyframes like we're used to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new composition, and I'm going to call this Pomegranate. And 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second, full resolution, one minute. And the thing is, I'm just kind of wondering about a transparent background, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, so notice here, I want to get rid of this render queue, but notice I've got Pomegranate, I've got this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here, and all these circles are my parts of my pomegranate. And what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to just drag all 5 of these in because of the fact that I had them all set up in pretty much perfect alignment. So at this point, I'm not so worried about some things that I want to do with this particular motif. I think I'm just going to use this as just as an object. It's going to grow out of the tree. It's going to fall. It in itself will start just falling, and it'll fall into the hand of that character that I animated earlier. He'll breathe the breath of life on it. It will start spinning and growing, and will come back to the original animation, and it will become the sun in the animation. So that'll be that. So what I'm thinking of here is that I'm just going to save this, let this be as it is. And then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to close everything. And, oh, wait a second. The one thing I forgot is I forgot to turn on the 3D layer because it's all supposed to be, this is an animation 3D space. You don't have to do that. It's just because I have that camera thing that I did in the last tutorial. So, so what happens is that I'm actually going to expand this out a little bit. I'm going to cheat because what happens is that there's all this stuff happening here. And there's things moving, and that's great. But I need about 10 seconds in which I can have this pomegranate just kind of come in. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pull the pomegranate yep, that's it. You go over here, and then I'm going to pull this in. And this is really cool because what happened here is that within this particular layer, something great happened, is that the transparency stayed. Just because of the complexity of everything, I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go back into the pomegranate layer here, into this, and I think I'm going to make a new I think I'm going to make a new shape layer and put it down below here. And shape layers are basically where you put shapes. And I'm going to make an ellipse tool sort of thing. And I wonder whether I can I have rulers? Yeah, let me show the rulers. Because I think I'm going to need those. Okay. So I've got this. The fill I want is going to be maybe a light reddish orange. And I know this is getting out of our black and white thing, but I'm not going to worry about that too much at the moment. Okay, and then the other thing I'm going to do is that I'm also going to make the opacity about 75%. Just so we can kind of see what's going on in the background a little bit. Save that. Now, the cool thing that should have happened is that if I have this over in the other thing, see what happened? That all wound up getting updated in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the following. I'm going to and I'm going to actually scale this down proportionally a bit here. Take this over here. And this is take this down. And just move it a little bit with the direct select tool just so that it's kind of nice and neat. And okay, let this go about maybe about, this says from, let's see, where does it say it is on the time slider? Okay, 11:23 to 12 seconds to 17, 5 seconds. Not bad. Okay, I can deal with that. Okay. So if you notice, I've got I don't have a keyframe on this. I'm also going to bring this in like a clip. Okay, and I'm just going to open this up just like anything else. Position, scale, and Z rotation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for about 3 seconds, I'm going to take up the scale, and then I'm going to turn on the opacity. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just make it opaque really fast. I'll turn it back here, turn it down to nothing. And That's not too bad. The other thing I'm going to need to do is that I'm going to need to lock a position. And I'm going to make another keyframe here. And then I'm going to have it fall from the tree. Let's see what the speed's like on this. First of all, I'm going to save it just in case the computer crashes again. Okay, that's a little slow. And there's also one other thing I want to do is that I also want to play with the, let's see. Yep, that's fine. So notice that I'm working with this. This is all I'm rendering. It's not a big deal. So on position on this, I'm going to have this in the graph editor. I'm going to go out here into the graph editor and take a look at this position. And I'm just going to put easy ease on all of this. And then guess what? Watch what happens. Actually, it's accelerating. The only thing I don't like about this is it's still, for me, too slow. So I'm going to turn off the graph editor. And actually, I'm going to just kind of bring in these keyframes just a little bit. Turn it in. And then I'll render that. The next thing I want to do is I want to have a white background, maybe with some clouds on it, and I'll have the pomegranate falling through the sky. And I think I can do that one really quick. But here's something, here's a new trick. I'm going to put this in the media encoder cube. And guess what we're going to do? I'm going to put that in the queue. Let's go and let's go and get this pomegranate falling thing done. You know, let's just do these two moves on Thursday. Thursday, or maybe even today, I might have it fall into the hand of the character. We'll see. But that's all right. It's loading up. Let's make a third composition. These compositions are like scenes. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make it I'm going to say this. I'm going to call it Falling Pomegranate. And I'm just going to have it be 10 seconds. That's it. Fine. Plus. Okay. This is going to be really easy. I'm just going to Falling Pomegranate. Find pomegranate and drag it in. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take transform. I've got 10 seconds. This is probably going to be way too long for what I want to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set position, rotation, and I'll just set it up here. And actually, I'll set this. Let's see here. I'll set the Y position on this a bit higher. And then I'm just going to try 5 seconds. We'll see what happens when this falls at 5 seconds. Because I'm sure it's going to be way too slow. And I'm just scrubbing the value. And let's see how it goes. That's not bad, actually. So the other thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to set a rotate. I've already set a rotation. And yeah, this is going to be 5 seconds. I'm going to oh, that's the media encoder. Sorry, it just popped back up. I'm going to set the work the work area as being just such and such a size. And then here with I'm going to set another rotation. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have it do a full rotation. I'm just going to have it do, like, you know, a full rotation is 360 degrees. That's just little your old geometry stuff. I'm going to do maybe 340. On one hand, also if you notice, you can do a multiple of these. In other words, in this amount of time, I could have it do 5 times 340, but that's how you get past doing a full rotation in After Effects. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to render this out and see. It's rotating just fine. The other thing that I think that I would like to do really is that there's one other thing that I want to do. Is that I really like that background that I did. That's it. So I'm going to put this underneath here. Right? That's pretty cool, right? Okay. So that's we'll have one shot. Actually, we'll have 3 shots already, and then tomorrow I'll have the pomegranate fall into the character's hand. Probably blow the wind of life into it. Maybe by Friday, see if I can end this up, and then maybe I'll talk about some things like music too. So why don't I just go and put this out into Media Encoder queue. And by the way, I'll put all these clips up on YouTube along with this tutorial. And see, the thing is that what I'm going to do, the reason why I had you do this bouncing ball thing first, just so you get used to Premiere a little bit, it's because what happens is I'm going to take all these clips that I'm doing. I'm going to put them in Premiere, and I'm just going to edit those together and just shoot it out. It's going to be just that easy. So okay, I just want to go here to animation program too. I'm going to say pomegranate grow. And then we've got flying pomegranates. So that's fine. So we'll have the outer come down. So, and then render this stuff out. So really, you're not limited to you know, just having one composition in After Effects. I mean, you can have multiple compositions, bring them in like clips. The backgrounds are transparent. It's fine. And then the other thing is that, you know, within these nested compositions, you can have when I have this pomegranate sun start coming to life, all the circles are going to start rotating in different directions, and it's going to be really cool. So that's how that's going to happen. That's done. So that's this tutorial, and it'll be up on YouTube. And oops, that's Siri. That's not what I want to be talking to. And then that's